What's up, guys? GlitchDoctor. Today, I'm gonna be... Okay, who turned out the lights? Where... Oh, there you guys are. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the lights. But, anyways, today, I'm gonna be... It's me, Luigi. So, the GlitchDoctor is away right now, so I'm gonna be hosting the show. So today, I'm going to be talking about the Luigi's Mansion betas. Let's get started.
Luigi?
Oh, he's coming! Mamma mia!
Luigi!
Luigi, what are you doing? Yeah. Oh, you thought that was me he strangled? No, that's just my twin brother, Richard. Yeah. So, anyways, let's get started.
Well, Luigi's Mansion, a really great game in my opinion, went through many changes before the time of its arrival. This can go back a year or two before its release. Well, Luigi's Mansion was thought to be originally released on the Nintendo 64, but because the N64's lifespan coming to a close, they decided not to do it. Not much has been heard of since then. Eventually, the time came for a new system, so Nintendo invented the GameCube. But before its release, it wasn't even going to be a game. Luigi's Mansion was just originally a tech demo, meaning that it was just a game designed to show off what the system was capable of. Let's look at some early footage. In this clip, we can see that this looks very different compared to the final version. First thing to note is that Luigi does have some changes to his appearance. First of all, his face is a bit chunkier. Then we have another huge difference to music. Just listen to it. Yeah, this does sound like it has an 8-bit feel to it, and the song was originally going to sound like that, but Nintendo changed it to a more realistic instrument sound. Now that is just a couple of differences. Let's continue with the video, shall we? Okay, stop. Now look at this for just a second. Does this look familiar to you? Let me point it out. In the final version, just pause the game and you will see that picture is in a sepia tone to it. Now this image was only seen in the trailer, never in the final game. Why they put that in there, I have no idea. Anyways, let's continue. Another big difference is that the Game Boy Horror was originally equipped with a timer. That's right, you had to go and save Mario before the timer ran out. What happened when it ran out? Let's skip to the end of the video. Okay, so you might be wondering, is that what happened when the time ran out? Actually, no. If we take a look at another video titled E3 2001 Nintendo Booth, we see that at the beginning of the video, it's just some common gameplay. But if we skip to 7 minutes 36 seconds into it, we see that there are some different, I guess new things. First, after standing for a bit, Luigi just crouches down. Not like he's panting, but just crouching down. We see more common gameplay, yada yada. Then we see what really happens after the time runs out. We see that EGAD contacts you, probably saying something like, "Thanks for playing the demo, be sure to experience the fun coming soon," or something like that. Then it brings you back to the main title screen. As for the depressed Luigi cutscene, we don't really know what that is used for. But the depressed Luigi face is still present in the final game's files. For example, we see these three pictures. This is the great rank, this is the good rank, and this is the bad rank. Notice that he has the depressed eyes and is holding a single rose. He looks like he has been through hell and back. I don't know, maybe that's just me. What these images were for, though, is when you beat the game, after it shows you the rank that you got, it would display one of the 3 images to show, I guess, how Luigi felt getting the amount of money that you did. Either that, or when he gets little money, he just becomes this depressed hobo that can't even find joy in one little rose. Going back to the subject of the Game Boy Horror Clock, in the PAL, or European version of the game, there are a ton of codes relating to beta content still left over in the game. Well, to start, there is a code that is a GBH modifier, meaning that when you press a certain button combo, you can go to some unused things that will be displayed on its screen. For example, there is the regular money counter, there is the clock, some random egad glitchy thing, and something I haven't explained yet, the first-person camera. In the first-person camera, it would be just like if you were walking around while you had the GBH scanner out. Its use? Not really sure, but the idea was scrapped because the GameCube couldn't handle it. Oh yeah, the clock. Well, when the clock timer runs out, it doesn't do anything, only though that it just goes back to 0. The use for the clock? Well, it was most likely when Nintendo brought it to the general public at conventions like E3, so that you could have a timer just so you wouldn't be hogging the line, not because Nintendo actually wanted you to beat the game in a time limit, to then have to start the whole game over again. Now, there was a lot more I had to explain, so bear with me if it gets kinda long. In one of the codes for the PAL version, there was a code that makes Luigi perform different animations. Some of these are unused. For example, there is this one that is titled Poisoned by Ralph of the Game Shark Central board. When you get to the lobby, you see that it looks like Luigi's being choked as he has his tongue sticking out, and he has a depressed eye texture. So yes, that texture is still present in the game. If you notice though, the animation that Luigi is doing is the same as when a grabber ghost gets you. But again with the eye texture, it was never shown in the game. So the only logical explanation for this animation is that it was the beta animation for when Luigi gets the poisonous mushroom, rather than him shrinking down to the size of a mouse. In the Space World /E3 trailer, in the parlor, instead of the pictures of the humans, there were pictures of this purple ghost wearing a hat. Why on earth is the ghost wearing a hat? Was he a cowboy? Well, yeehaw! I'm just kidding. Now another thing in the beta that was kind of random and was actually shown in the final game, there are 3 ghosts that playing cards at a table. There is a video that shows them moving for like 2 seconds. Thanks, Zeke. It was shown, like I said, in the final game, in a place that you see 5 times in the game, but might not notice it. In the Ghost Portificationizer room, on the shocker machine, there was a picture on the front of its base that shows those 3 ghosts playing cards at the table. They were probably shown in one of the cutscenes in the alpha of Luigi's Mansion, which is what stage the game was at in the trailer shown at Space World and E3. Now, there are a ton of unused models and images in the game's files. Here are some pictures. This first one is from an unused Mario model named bmario. No, not like B Mario from Super Mario Galaxy, just the letter B followed by Mario. It looks like the game was supposed to have multiplayer in it, because Mario has some vacuum straps on his shoulders like Luigi, but no vacuum, because the character and the vacuum are separate models. In the PAL version, you can replace Toad with this model, showing off some unused moves. Next we have this door. Thanks to the wonderful place known as the internet, there are tools to show some models from the game. We see that this door does have an animation, yet we never see this door in the game. Then we have this tomato. According to the game's files, this is one of the oldest made models during the production of the game. In a picture, there was an unused portrait ghost that was a chef, holding a tomato. Now could this be the tomato that he was holding? Or was it just some random tomato they made? I guess we will never know. Unless if one of you guys has a beta disc. Nah, I'm kidding. Then we have these 2 unused nozzles. Again, you can replace Toad with these. Actually, one day I just kept modifying a code to replace Toad with the unused Mario model, and I found these models. Kinda odd if you ask me. Anyways, these nozzles had to have been at one point part of the whole element thing, but obviously was never used. It was, however, shown in the gameplay at E3 2001. If you look closely, you can see the nozzle shooting out water. That was just a replacement of the whole water element thing. Then there is this thing. Actually, this is an unused boss found in the game's files, known as elh.scp. Yeah, the models are an SZP file type, and after you extract it, then there are all these files. The actual model part is an MDL file, but it is slightly modified. Oh yeah, if any of you who made the tools to open the model files, can you send me the link to download it? Because I'm kind of curious. If you do, thanks! Oh yeah, I didn't really explain the boss that well. It was supposed to be some kind of a water boss, I guess, and although it still has some animations, it does not have any textures. To be honest with you, I think textures like that of the Chaos boss from Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut would fit well with that boss. Just saying. The list can go on, so let me run through these quickly. We have this picture of an unused Bogmeyer model, which oddly enough, you can replace Chauncey's ball, and I'm assuming a lot of other things, with it. Then we have the unused Poltergust 3000 model. Yeah, not really sure why it's still in there, but it just is. Then there are these unused Shy Guy colors. Yeah, not much to say here. There are also these things, which are apparently called meteor ghost balls, that kind of resemble the pink ghost balls in the courtyard. What? You said balls. Oh, shut up, Richard. There are these pictures of early ghost models. They probably were going to be the gold ghost and the purple puncher. They do look pretty early, well, in design I mean. There are also these pictures of earlier ghosts. For example, we have what is apparently the gold ghost, purple puncher, and the blue twirler. There is also this earlier Boo design. These were part of a European screensaver. There are unused icons in the game. We see that there was going to be more than just one toad color, because there is this green toad icon. We have this gold ghost icon, which oddly enough means that the ghost was going to have a line or lines in the game. There is an unused Bowser icon, most likely from the final battle between King Boo and the Bowser suit. Oh yeah, and the Mario icon. That probably would have been used in the cutscene when Luigi makes it to the bottom of the well and peeks into the altar room and sees the Mario in the painting. You know, they still could have used this, as Mario has a line in the game, but they probably figured it was worthless, as that was the only line Mario had in the game, and it would just be strange to show that icon only once. Now, even though it is not present in the game, at one point in the Nintendo Power magazine, RIP Nintendo Power, there was a statement they made that said there was a Safari Hunter ghost that wanted to mount Luigi's head on the wall after he was through with him. Whoa, wait, what? So it's safe to assume that the game was going to be teen, as it being mature would be highly unlikely, as Nintendo doesn't want to have a Mario, or Luigi game, being no higher than teen so kids could play it, and not whine about that one game that looked family friendly but was actually going to be really dark, which the beta was. Yeah, they sure have made him more suitable for kids to play. Oh yeah, the picture isn't actually what he was going to look like, it's just an artist's interpretation of it. Another big thing that the beta had to offer, the Poltergust 3000 had a heat meter, and if it gets a 10, it would backfire, making Luigi flip backwards, but then get up while the heat meter is quickly brought down to 0. I guess it's kind of a good thing they didn't put that in there, just because of how the Polterghosts have 100 HP, in the beta they had 50, so I guess that there is kind of a reason to have that in there. Also, a strange thing in the American version on Dolphin. It has to be a specific revision though. If you have Show FPS checked before playing the game, there is a blue meter that is in the same color as what you see in the FPS text. It counts how many ghosts you captured, then stops. One of the ghosts that people still wonder about that was in the beta was known as the Scare the Crap Out of You ghost. What this ghost does is scare Luigi when he has his back turned, exerting cartoon-style text, and making Luigi jump and then crawl back in fear. His health would drop down to 50 after an encounter with one of them. Talk about deadly scary! Right? Right? Anyone? Okay, fine. There are also some other unused images that I haven't talked about. There is this one of Daisy. You might be thinking, was Daisy going to be the one captured at first, as she is Luigi's girlfriend? Actually, no. This image was taken from Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64, but was just used as a test image. Well, what is this Japanese text that we have here? I don't know a whole lot about Japanese, but apparently this translates to, and a present from the doctor, probably meaning that at one point that EGAD would give you something maybe a Poltergust 3000 upgrade, like from Dark Moon. Maybe it would be something like to prevent the Poltergust from overheating, because again, think of that heat meter. This picture of a GameCube is supposedly the image used for the background in the boss fights. Notice that there is a place right here so you can see part of the disc. Probably an early GameCube design. No, not as early as the Dolphin, which was the prototype GameCube, hence Dolphin emulator. Another interesting thing, in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, on the Luigi's Mansion course, you can see on the left side of the upper floor of the foyer that there is this blue pot. In the beta of Luigi's Mansion, this same pot is seen. Why that is in there, I have no clue. Again, there are more things I didn't discuss. In some places like Chauncey's room, Chauncey was nowhere to be found, rather there were just random ghosts. When they were all gone, the key popped out of the chest along with some money, and Luigi didn't do his signature key getting animation, rather it just did some high-pitched sound. Also, whenever the rooms were lit up, the main theme would play in a high-pitched type of a jingle. One time I went over and over playing that song again, and tried to transcribe that to save it as a MIDI. Here's how it sounds. Okay, I know that it kinda didn't sound like it, but I'm sure if we somehow get that into Luigi's Mansion, it will sound similar, if not exactly the same as in the beta. Another interesting thing, some doors were boarded up, and there is this one area that has boxes blocking the hallway. This was because the game was still in development, you just couldn't have potential customers go past those areas and fall down some never-ending black pit. You just couldn't. In the master bedroom, which in the beta is called Bedroom 1, there are 2 beds instead of 1, and yes, just some other random ghosts, but afterwards you do have to defeat Lydia. I also can't believe I didn't tell you yet. Some other rooms had different names. For instance, like I just said, the master bedroom was called Bedroom 1, the nursery was called the child's room, the foyer was called Entrance, and the parlor was called the living room. Okay, now I'm going to play some sounds found within the game's files while showing off some gameplay. You tell me what you think.
Welcome to
Kinda odd, right? What would these sounds be doing in the game? This one is some kind of child which I am assuming is speaking Japanese. It's obviously not used.
Welcome to
According to the cutting room floor, they think the child is saying Bon-nakum Bon-nakum chi. Now when I went on Google Translate, they thought I meant the same thing with some context change. Their translation is M ground without, M without bon bon. Doesn't make a lot of sense, I know. I modified the context a bit, and this time the translation was ground without lanterns. What could this mean, ground without lanterns? Well, I looked up some Japanese death customs to see if anything about lanterns came up, because it sounds like a little ghost girl is saying it, and apparently in Japan when someone dies, the family puts white paper lanterns in front of their house. Could this mean that the little girl was living in America at the time of her death, and she didn't know why they didn't put the lanterns in front of her house? Could her parents had not loved her by doing so? Wow, I never thought an episode of the GlitchDoctor would get so deep. Oh yeah, the context I use when translating is Bon-nakum Bon-nakum chi. So if anyone who can speak Japanese, please be so kind as to translate this for me. Then this one, which just sounds like a combination of a vacuum and some kind of speech. Then there are some random sounds that sound like something from an old show about space. Says phases to stun Luigi? How can I almost forget this one? This sounds from the beta title screen. At first, I didn't really know what to make of the sound when I found it. I was thinking maybe just Luigi screaming with some random music. But no, once I found out what it was, I was like, OMG. Oh yeah, while I was looking for the sounds, I found some of these sounds, and I'm not really sure where they were. Can you please explain it to me? Because I'm not sure if it's unused or not. How about some unused music? Here is just some random drum beat. Then we have a little Mario fanfare, probably used for when you beat Melody Pianissima because of the whole Super Mario Bros. Theme being played with all the instruments in the room. Oh yeah, then this one. Again, according to the cutting room floor, this is a Space Room theme. They said it wouldn't fit anywhere, but because it is a space room, it could have been for after you look into the telescope and you have to shoot the moon with the comets or stars or whatever they are. The same melody was supposed to be also used for your total score. Then we have this. You're probably thinking, hey, that's Tataka's song. Well, you'd be correct. This was apparently the original place they would have that song in the game, instead of the training room song. This song can be activated in the PAL version by an AR code as her only song that she plays. Okay, I think that's about enough for sounds and music. In the PAL version, some of the codes bring you to unused places. We have this test room, which is, well, a test room. Yeah, very, very strange. Then there are a few unused galleries, this one being the alpha version of it, then just some unused ones. I'm guessing they are trying to figure out the door placement and everything, so it would be perfect. Now, as far as knowing where on earth to get one of these copies, I have no clue, so please, don't ask me anything about where to get them, or to give you an ISO of it or anything. I don't have it. I'm just summarizing what was seen and heard on the internet. But according to some people on the internets, they said that how many beta discs could be possible on Earth right now are anywhere from 7 to 50. So if you have one, just please let me know. I'm just curious. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. If I forgot to explain anything, just let me know. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. As far as knowing what this beta disc looks like, here it is. I know it isn't at a good angle since it was taken at E3, but you can pretty much see just what it looks like. Also, at one point, Awesome Loki Project and one of his friends made this. It's not an actual beta disc, but it does kind of look like it. Even though it's not the exact same as the real thing, it is pretty close.
So yeah, that was the Luigi Mansion beta explained in its entirety. Sorry if it got kind of long, and you got kind of bored or whatever, but I was just explaining everything that the beta, alpha and beta version had to offer, over the years and everything. Yeah. Oh, and, you might be thinking, hey, how come we haven't seen your brother before? Actually, you have. Remember in Super Mario Sunshine Glitches Part 2? The one who was holding up that gun to me? So guys, GlitchDoctor. Today I'm gonna be watching money. Okay, God. Good times, good times. Are you guys talking about me? Wait, how did you? Oh, I came back. Oh, well,
Okay.
I'm just kidding. What are you gonna do with them? Well, but anyways, thanks for watching, and please like, comment, subscribe. And if you have to ask me anything, you can contact me at theofficialglitchdoctor@gmail.com. Like I said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.